We have an important hearing today, and we're here today to talk about the use of confidential informants in federal law enforcement investigations. We love and appreciate the men and women who literally put their lives on the line to support and defend this country. They do a very difficult job, and one of the tools that we authorize and appropriate money for is the ability to engage with confidential informants. But they still need oversight of these confidential informants. Just because they're trying to keep it quiet and trying to do some difficult work doesn't mean that it goes above and beyond oversight. We have with us today the Department of Justice Inspector General. The IG's office recently examined the use of confidential informants at the Drug Enforcement, at the DEA, at the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. Representatives from both of those agencies are here with us today. Together, the DEA and ATF have more than 6,000 active informants at any given time. Over a 5-year period, the DEA and the ATF spent roughly $260 million engaging with informants, again, over a 5-year period. Whether paid or unpaid, informants are obviously very valuable tools to investigations. Both the DEA and the ATF told the IG they could not accomplish their mission without these informants. The information they provide may help keep us safe, and often they have access to information because of their own past involvement in illegal activity. Yet there is an inherent risk in signing up criminals to help bring down other criminals. Keeping those risks in check requires significant oversight, and again, that's what the committee is about. It's part of the role and duty of the United States Congress. We authorized it, we appropriated it, we allowed them to engage in it, but we also have to have some oversight. And there have been you could call them mistakes, but there have been some significant problems. In 2012, for instance, the ATF had an informant. An ATF informant, I should say, sexually abused a woman in a Seattle hotel in a room paid for by the ATF. This violent felon had already been in jail in 43 states. Okay, it's pretty hard to accomplish, but this person had already been in jail in 43 states, and the ATF signed him up as an informant, and then we have this incident in the Seattle hotel. 6 weeks ago, a court released the testimony of one confidential informant in Atlanta who received $212,000 from the DEA from 2011 to 2013. She testified she wasn't sure why she was paid. That was her testimony. She also testified to a sexual relationship with a DEA group supervisor who allegedly convinced subordinates to falsify reports to justify the payments. That case is currently under review by the Inspector General. Then you can look to the ATF's deadly Phoenix Field Division case, including Operation Fast and Furious, as this highlighted a number of different problems involving confidential informants. ATF signed one federal firearms licensee, we refer to that as an FFL, up as a confidential informant and treated another one as such an informant without signing them up. In its wake, the ATF revised its policies regarding the use of informants. But the attention to Fast and Furious, Operation Fast and Furious, also highlighted problems with other agencies' use of informants, including failing to share information about them with other agencies. Since then, most Justice Department components have followed suit to revise their policies. Inspector General Horowitz is in a good position to fill us in on the lessons he's observed in this process. The DEA is the most recent component to update its policies, completing it in July of 2016. We expect to receive the new policy today, yet even the policies are irrelevant if they aren't followed. Effective informant use requires rigorous supervision. That includes oversight of the agents handling the informants on the front line. It also includes robust accountability for special agents who commit misconduct in this area. The committee obviously supports law enforcement and is committed to the vigorous oversight of that law enforcement. And I think we're all stronger and better for that. Again, people on the front line, they're in a difficult situation. We understand that and respect that. But we also have a duty and responsibility to make sure that literally the hundreds of millions of dollars that are spent and over the course of years are also dealt with properly. And that's why we're having this hearing. So now let's recognize the ranking member, Mr. Cummings of Maryland.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much for calling this hearing. And